Good evening and welcome to Success in the City. My name is Helen Webster. I'm with the lovely
Sandra Scott, and our guest today is the very inspirational
Ange from Hope Street Casting Studio.
Welcome.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I went all Scottish then. Thanks for joining us tonight, Ange. And we're going to find out loads more about you as we go along, okay? And I'm really, really excited about this because we've just heard wonderful, wonderful things about you. But first, we have a shout out to the kids. Any young people, little people who've done amazing things this week. So, San, have you got any little people you want to shout out to?
Just my little, a new little starter called Rowan, who's lovely, who goes to St. Vincent's, and he comes straight after school. He does half an hour Spanish with me. And he's a little dream, honestly, because they're tired after school. He's only young, and he'd been swimming the other day and he was shattered. So he did very well. I made up with him, yeah. Little bright spot.
Well done, Rowan. Ange, have you got any young people, little people that you want to shout out to?
I most certainly have. Mine are the young people at Zoe's place. They're just a little dream. They're so inspirational. And Claire House, they just bring so much pleasure to me.
Amazing.
They do.
Love it.
They face the little struggles and stuff, but they're just little warriors.
Brilliant. I love that. So a big shout out to all of them. And I'm going to give a shout out. So we have a little racquetball club, and we had some new people, some new young people come today. And Harrison came today, and it was a little bit noisy at first. So we waited outside, and he'd never been to the building before, and he wanted to do a runner because it was all young, like younger ones in. And he stayed outside. I said, you stay outside and there's a ball. And he was bouncing the ball outside. And then he came in and he was just amazing. He stayed for the whole of the session, and he played, and he was like having a little rally, and he was just fab. So big shout out to Harrison and all my little racquetball people, because they were all amazing today. So yeah, so well done to all them. Okay, a success this week, Sandra, something that's happened to you that's been amazing this week.
Well, I've been extremely fortunate. I don't know if it's about a success, but certainly fortunate, because it was my birthday on Monday. And I've just been showered with gifts from different people. And I even came home tonight, and there was a box of flowers that have come from Dana and Joe Swinburne. How kind's that? But that was my birthday, actually. Sorry, that's because I moved house. It was to welcome me to the area. And I thought, that's just pretty cool, isn't it? I was so grateful. And I was grateful to yourself, because after Monday, after the day of my birthday, I always forget it's my birthday, albeit so. And then we met for coffee yesterday, and I thought it was like business stuff, and I was all ready with my laptop. And then you were there, and there was all presents and a balloon, which it took me 10 minutes to notice, which was hilarious, in the middle of the cafe. So that was lovely. So just dead nice, really. The house is full of flowers because we're moving on my birthday at the same time. So and I love fresh flowers, so I was absolutely delighted. And I got a gorgeous piece of lily, which is behind.
I know, I'm just looking at that thinking that's a bit gorgeous. That,
you know, that's the top of it. It's really full. So I've got to keep that living.
Yeah. My Uncle Ron will be commenting in a minute saying how gorgeous it is, Sam. It's better than the calendar, isn't it? Under pressure now. That's it now. Pressure on. Ange, what's amazing has happened to you this week? A nice little success. Doesn't have to be business. Can be anything you want.
Right, okay.
Just a little amazing thing for you.
Well, like Sandra, with all the lovely flowers, it's my birthday today. So I have been absolutely spoilt rotten, as you do. But, you know, besides the birthday and stuff, the business, as far as business goes, I've launched a new sports edition to the castings. So it's all like the boxing, fists, and that's going really well. So that's all good for me. I'm pretty excited for the next couple of weeks.
Oh, we'll find out loads more about that in a minute. I'm a little bit excited by all of that.
We're honoured you've come on your birthday.
I know.
Yes, it's my birthday today, so my big birthday next year. But yeah, I'm 39 today, so yeah,
she's only a baby.
I have just been spoiled. Just being spoiled, as you do.
Oh, how lovely! Oh,
I've got two daughters, and we had their christening last night. all very last minute. But yeah, we managed to get them christened last night. So, I mean, they are 9 and 10 now, but it was important, you know, we had to do it. So, yeah, we done that last night. So it's been all systems go in my house.
Oh,
Fair
wow.
play to you. I'm listening and then coming in on your birthday and looking as good as that.
Oh, thank you. You know what? Thanks so much. I'll come on again.
That's amazing. Yeah.
All September birthdays are fab. Your mum's September as well.
My
isn't she?
mum's September as well. Yeah, my mum's September the 1st. Yeah, she's fab as well. So my success is that for the next 3 days, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week, we've been able to take Lou, which is our big interactive playground, to St. John Rigby College. So we went there today. We've set it up. And we've had an amazing day with all the young people. So they're aged 16 to 18-year-olds. And we've just had a day of fun, and they've got a climb on wall and drums and all lovely things outside for them to do. But they've all been in and played on, and it's just lovely to be able to go. And last time we went, Sandra, we had to wear our masks, didn't we? And it was all very and we've still got some rules. We come in one door, we go out the other, and we sanitize before, and during the game and things like that. But we don't have to wear our masks. So to be able to teach without wearing a mask is so much easier, for us to be able to, and the kids can see, I mean, even though they're big, they can still see the expression on your face, and it's much easier to teach without having to wear a mask. So I'm delighted about that. So massive successes all around. I love that. And so we're going to say a massive thanks, Ange, for joining us today. But first, we're going to find out a little bit more about you, and we're going to play this or that. So Sandra's going to ask me and you, and I'll ask you and Sandra. Okay. So I've done a little bit of research. Okay. Am I going to go first, or are you going first, Sam?
Yeah, you go first, because I'm intrigued by your research now.
I haven't really done research. I've just written a few things down. No, I've just written a few. Sandra thinks of them on the top of her head. You see, I have to sit and have a little read because my mind goes blank. Okay. Plasticine or Play-Doh, Ange?
Plasticine.
Oh.
Yeah, most definitely.
Plasticine. What about you, Sam?
Plasticine, because the consistency of Play-Doh is a nightmare.
But the smell of Play-Doh is amazing.
Yeah, but no, it's when you, so as you know, I teach, and with the little ones, I do use Play-Doh for colours and things like that, especially with little people with autism and that, and they look, it's so tactile and sensory. But, it's like you're getting it off the carpet in the office. So much so when we've gone to the new office, I've taken Play-Doh out of the mix so it doesn't go up, so I don't have it there anymore because it's a nightmare, whereas plasticine's much easier to deal with.
That's so I can't play with it, Ange. That's why she's not got it in the office.
No, you know what? It is the consistency. You are so true. I once, when I was starting all this off, I thought, you know what, let's go for Play-Doh, because people do actually, well, they can. In the past, they have used, or so I was told at the beginning, you can use it as a good base, like for flat castings and stuff, because it picks up all the details. Anyway, it was a nightmare, and it was like, never again. So it's just a no-no for me. Plasticine all the way.
So Des, our friend who's listening in, has said the smell of Play-Doh was actually patented. And it was. And I think I'm going to say, Des, did I hear this on your show? Right. So things you never knew that Des does on his show on a Sunday. Yeah. He read they've painting the smell of it. And it was like the label of a wine. It was with a vanilla of something, of essence of something else. And it was, and he said, and it was the smell of Play-Doh. And I was thinking, I've learned that somewhere recently, and it was on Des's show. So thanks, Des.
I didn't know that. There we go.
The smell of Play-Doh actually takes me back to when I started nursery, and I can still go. Honestly, it's bizarre. The building is still there. It's still a nursery now. And this is how far it takes me back. And I can still go in the building. It's a cafe now. And I still get that smell of Play-Doh.
Isn't that mad?
It's just, it must be ingrained somewhere in my memory. And it's bizarre. I was going in there for a breakfast the other week, and I was like, I can still smell it.
It tastes of the smell of Play-Doh.
So, yeah, it's in there somewhere.
Wow, amazing. Go on, San.
Okay, Ange, sculpture or painting?
Sculpture.
I thought it might be that.
All the way, all the way.
Helen?
So I do love a good sculpture, but painting for me, I like the bright colours. I love all the colours of paintings and things like that. And yeah, but I do love a bit of sculpture as well. I think I'd go painting. What about you, San?
Yeah, I go painting 100%, and for one reason alone. The chances of me knocking paintings over are much, much, much less likely. And when I stayed with John and Sean, and John has a lot of beautiful paintings that, he's such a appreciator of art, and he had some very beautiful sculptures there. And I said, please move them because I'm so clumsy, and it's unbelievable. It's got to be seen to be believed. And I knock everything over all the time. So I have everything in my house spacious so I don't bump into things. And paintings are safe on the wall.
It might actually be a different story for me if I had the sculptures. I do them and give them away. If they come to my house, it probably would be a painting. Because like yourself, I'm like clumsy. I'm like Calamity Jane. So yeah, there's times in the studio I'm like, don't touch, don't do this.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to ask you first this one, San.
Okay.
Instagram or Facebook?
Facebook, because Instagram's quite limited in lots of other ways, and being able to see it and read it and stuff like that for speed. Plus, I'm connected with the process about having friends on Facebook is very different to Instagram, isn't it? And I'm connected with so many friends, particularly who I used to work with in London and that, in the airlines and stuff. And it's great for keeping in touch with things like that. Whereas Instagram's a bit different. It's a bit more quick snapshot, quick photo. And that's that, really.
What about you, Ange?
I'd like to say I'm 50-50, probably business-wise, but Facebook is definitely more personal.
Yeah,
it's more personal, and you can sort of connect with people on Facebook and have a chat, you know what I mean, get to know them. But yeah, it's definitely probably Facebook.
Brilliant.
And I'm going to say Facebook because this goes live on Facebook. It doesn't go live on Insta. But no, I think Facebook, I think for all the same reasons. So Jane Kane's listening, and she says, the original use of Play-Doh was as a wallpaper cleaner in the 1930s. I didn't even know it had been around that long. We're just having going to be Play-Doh experts with Des and Jane today.
Wow. Yeah.
Go on, San. You fire away.
Yeah. The Georgian Quarter or the Knowledge Quarter?
Is this to me?
Yeah, sorry, Ange, yeah.
The Georgian Quarter. Absolutely.
I knew you were going to say that because that's where
absolutely.
And I'm going to say the same.
It's just it's gorgeous. Everything about it. I walk around those streets.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. It's so picturesque. It's just gorgeous. I could be here all day. It's fabulous.
God, that
what about you, Sam?
The Georgian Quarter, definitely. It is beautiful around there. And I love where the Unity Theatre is and what they've done with that, and how they've got the original part and then the very modern part, and the way they've integrated it. I love it there.
And I think you see different things when you walk around, don't you? Sometimes you walk through and you don't sort of, and then other times you walk through, and you think, oh yeah, I forgot that was there and stuff. And the Unity Theatre is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah,
cool little theatre.
Yeah. It's I should say, every single day you go there and it's just something else. Do you know what I mean? And I've got to know everyone around that area now.
Yeah.
So it's just fab. I absolutely love it.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Go on.
Yes. Last one. Okay. Big movie, comedy or thriller? Ange.
I'm not really a telly person at all. I don't.
Because you haven't got time.
It's got to be a comedy. I don't think I've got the concentration. Yeah, it's got to be a comedy. It just does. Yeah.
What about you, San?
Oh, comedy, 100. I can't follow thrillers anyway. I don't know what's happening. I have to, and I go, what's happening now? Who's that? Blah, blah, blah. And whoever are where they drive them nuts. Comedies, I just think are hilarious. And I really enjoy comedies. I just howl laughing. And like when we used to go to the cinema, when my son was little or younger, and I'd go, what? And he'd go, shush. I'd just be like going, laughing my head off. I just think they're so funny. I love comedies, definitely. What about you?
Thrillers for me.
Okay.
Yeah, thriller, yeah. I'm not very good at working out who it is or anything like that. I always get like a total shock at the end. I'm always at the end, I'm like, oh, no way, like, you know. And Phil goes, Helen, he goes, that was in the first scene. And I was like, oh yeah, so I don't get it. I'm not, he gets it, like, he watches like 3 minutes and goes, oh no, who's done it? But I get a little bit engrossed in it, sort of thing. And Money Heist is back. So anybody who's watched Money Heist in Spanish, so we watch it in Spanish, don't we? And I've got to now wait till December the 3rd for the second part of the 5th season to come out. But if you haven't watched it, it's amazing. Like addictively amazing. It's a box set, but it's like on Netflix. It's just unbelievable. It's amazing. So yeah,
Davin's refused to watch films with me now because I'm like, what's going on? Who's this? What's that? Who's that? What's he doing? What's his name? It's just like, you know what? Give up.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, completely.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Right. So now we know a little bit more. Oh, and if you got, sorry, Sandy, you've got one more.
Okay, mine is
apologies.
Italy or England.
Italy, I just absolutely love.
Yeah.
It's got to be Italy. It's got to be Italy.
I knew you would because you're an artist.
It's got to be. It's fabulous.
So I'm going to be controversial and I'm going to say England. So yes, Italy's beautiful and there's lots of, you know, things and stuff like that. And the weather's nice and all the other bits and pieces. But I think we are super, super lucky in England for so many different things, like there's beaches, there's mountains. And I know there's all that in Italy, but I just think that we're quite blessed really to live in such an amazing country. So I'm going to be very patriotic and say England. What about you, San?
Italy. So
I thought that.
Italy, because of you know, the weather's a big factor for me. And the architecture. And I mean, Italy is an open air museum. They have so much history and art there, they actually can't afford to look after it all. And you can just walk anywhere and you're just like, what's that? Oh, it's something from 2,000 years ago. It's unbelievable. Yeah. It's just an incredible country and that. And I agree with you. We are dead lucky to live here. But just like the quality of food and it's the culture and everything I love. And of course, I love the language as well, you know. So for me too. There we go.
I do love English. Oh, well, it's English. But yeah, it's just so picturesque.
Yeah. There we go.
And it's a bit sunny. Okay, so we'll have that. Okay. So we now know a little bit more about you with this and that. Okay, but now we're going to introduce you. So we're with the lovely Ange today. And Ange and I have never, ever met. But we've heard millions and millions of rave reviews about you. And everybody you say, who's your guest this week, Helen? You go, oh, it's Ange from it. And they all go, oh, she's beautiful. She's amazing. And it was one of our past guests, Paul Heron, who was the Cash for Kids, and he won the wedding. And he now does the society card, and he gives lots of money to Cash for Kids and charity. And he went, hell, you need to get Ange on your show. He said, she's amazing and she does loads of stuff. And I was like, oh, right, okay. And then we got in touch, and it feels like from just having our little chat that we've known you forever. And I think this is what he was saying, like, you know, you're just like a beautiful, kind person and stuff like that. So I can't really introduce you any more than that because you're going to tell us everything that you do. Okay, so it's over to you. And then Sandra and I will butt in as we're going along, and we'll just ask you a few little questions as we're going along, and we're going to probably spend about 30-ish minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Okay, all about you. So off you go, love.
Right. So I am Ange Donahue, and I own Hope Street Body Casting Studio. Now, normally when I say that to people, they're like, what's that? They've just no idea. When I'd say it like 3 years ago, they'd just be like, what? You didn't have a clue. However, I have grown and I have got to know so many people up and down the country now for the castings and the sculptures and the families what I've brought together through these stone sculptures. So I basically make molds of, let's just say, family hands. So it's, we've got couples, families, babies, bodies, actual bodies, torsos. But I'd say the most popular at the moment is the hand castings, because they mean so much. And they really do. And there's a lot of the time I will get called out to like hospices, and there's a lot of end of life work, a lot of memorial work.
Right.
Yeah. But the family castings are they're just so lovely because you bring them families together. There's times when there's families that are coming to Hope Street into the studio, and they're like, you know what, Ange, with phones and stuff today, we haven't actually sat round a table for forever, for ages, for weeks, months, because so it's just nice, the fact that it's a lovely experience, the fact that you're bringing families in, but then you're creating a piece of art which is their memory forever. So
when they come in, and when you say about the casting of the hands, so when someone comes along for a casting, what actually happens? What's the process?
So we'll obviously choose a design. We've got quite a various designs, and we will, we get them all in, get them all sheeted up. It's a really fun experience. Get them all sheeted up. Generally have some bubbles if they want it. And we get them all around the table, and we're like, right, okay, let's get our hands in this. So we create a design. Again, it's something what they chose previous.
Yeah.
And we just make some absolutely fabulous, just memories. There's memories, and that's what it's all about. That's what my business is all about. That's why I created the business, because it's all about capturing memories and setting them in stone.
Stone.
It goes.
So they put the hands in like a bucket, don't they, of some sort?
There is, yeah. So then we also have like bucket castings. They're like the most fun, to be fair. And we literally fill a tub of slime up, probably this colour. And they basically put their hands in.
And you can put, so I've been looking at your page and stuff, and I know you did one for Leanne from Radio City, Leanne Campbell, and she was on the radio and she was talking about it, and she was saying that you can wear like your ring and your watch and things like that. And then when I was looking at on your actual Facebook page, so what do you put your hand into?
So it's like a seaweed based mold and solution. Basically what dentists use, to make impressions.
Oh, right, okay.
Because it picks up the tiniest of details. So let's just say when Leanne come, Jay and the kids, they come, they had the rings on, Leanne had a watch on. You were like, is the watch going to survive? I was like, you know what, just trust me. I don't normally put my life on stuff, but I'll put my life on this. So their sculpture is absolutely amazing.
Oh.
And you will see it very soon. So yeah, they had the watch, they had the ring. It was so lovely because they had a ring what belonged to Leanne's auntie before she passed away. And it means so much. It's so sentimental. So yeah, we sort of made all of the moulding with the rings and stuff on. And then I fill it then with like a really, really fine stone. People say they're like plaster castings. It's a plaster form, but this is a really, really fine stone. And the details will come out. Like the knuckles of the rings. And
you see the veins, can't you, on people's hands? You can see like the veins and the things like that. It's unbelievable.
You pause and you just get it. That's why it's so special. So when it comes to like end of life work and memorial work. I know when I say memorial, you know, people look at me like I've got 3 heads sometimes, and they're like, what? When they actually see what I do, it's you know, they actually understand what I do and why I do it. And I've just brought so much comfort to so many families.
Oh,
so how did you get into? Oh, sorry, go on, Sam. That was a little. How did you get into that?
We're asking the exact same question there. How did you get into what? I mean, what did you do before? Were you an artist, or how did you get into it?
No, I was actually. People expect me to say, yeah, you know, I'm an artist. Yeah. I actually was at university over the road, the Liverpool Uni, studying psychology. And shout out to Dr. Joe, because it was actually Dr. Joe that saw everything clicked. And so I just thought, I was studying psychology. I thought, you know what, I'm going to be going, you know, probably carrying on mental health and stuff. And towards the end of the degree, I'm a big fan of art as well. So towards as I was studying, I think it was the second year, I was like, you know what, I don't necessarily want to do work with mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was studying a psychology degree. And we was actually, at the time, we were studying about memories. And, you know, I think we were actually studying end of life and stuff, but it was about memories and how preserving memories can help people in so many ways. And I just put psychology and art together.
Right.
Came up with this.
So have you seen it somewhere before and you thought, oh, that's pretty cool?
So when I decided that it's, you know, this was something what I wanted to maybe do, I didn't actually know what casting was. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a thought. It was just, oh, I want to do something with memories, and that's what I want to do. And I was scrolling through Facebook one day, and I came across the Edinburgh casting studio. So it was up in Scotland, and they were making, you know, these molds of hands, and they do home kits and stuff. By chance, I messaged them and I was like, do you do any courses? It was they were like, we do, but it's a worldwide course, and it literally is a worldwide course. So in other words, there was just no chance I was getting on this course. So I was like, okay, can I leave me details? Yeah, that's no problem. Anyway, a couple of weeks later, someone got in touch and said, Ange, you know, I think someone broke the leg, or there was something, and we've got a space available. And I was like, wow.
Isn't that funny? They broke the leg and put it in a casting and on a casting course.
And I get the place. So anyway, I packs myself off. I packs myself off to Edinburgh. I left the kids, left Darren. I was like, I'm going to go and do this course.
Road trip for the girls. Go on.
Even Darren was like, Angela, are you really sure? You know, this is really studying psychology, and now you're going to Edinburgh to train with people who were doing stone stuff. And I was like, his actual words were, what's psychology got to do with making pots? And I was like, you know what, just trust me. Sorry, let me just plug it in. I was like, just trust me. Please just trust me. And I still hold him to that, to this day. He was like, okay, that's fine. So I packs myself off, gets on the train, goes to Edinburgh, and it literally was a worldwide course. There was only 4 of us at the time. It was only a very small course. From one was a lady was from Louisiana, one was from Holland. We could barely speak to each other, to be honest. We were just like, hi, you know.
You needed Sandra there because she speaks all the lingo.
Oh, okay. So yeah, as I say, we got, you know what, we're still really good friends, the 4 of us.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
But I learned, you know, I learned the basics, what I needed to do. And whilst I was sat doing this, I had all kinds just flying through my head. I can do this, I can do that.
Yeah.
And that was it. You know, the world was my oyster then. So I just said, right, after that course finished, I was back home. And yeah, the degree got put on hold. And I was just like, right, I've got to do this. And then everything just sort of has fell into place.
Amazing. So how long has it been now? How long have you been doing it for?
It's about 4 years.
Wow.
I've had a studio on Hope Street for maybe just over 3. But it's been about, I don't know, could it even been about 5 years ago? But I've had Hope Street for 3. Since I've had Hope Street, that's when it's just took off.
Yeah, because
you've got a base, haven't you?
I've got a base, do you know what I mean? I started it in my spare bedroom. And I've got a base now, and everybody just knows me for Hope Street. And
that's right.
So even like the name, people come and say, and you know what, for the work what I do, even the name Hope Street, it's your business. And I was like, you know what, I'm a bit like weird in ways, because I'm like, you know what, that's a sign.
100%.
Also, like take all these things as signs. So it's just I walk to work. Well, I wake up, I go to bed excited for work.
Yeah.
I'm up and I'm gone. It's gone. It's just so lovely. It's so lovely, and I'm so lucky to love what I do.
And what's the weirdest thing you've been asked to do?
Don't forget, it's before 9 o'clock watershed.
Right, okay, yeah.
But I know you have done a bum.
Yes. Oh yeah, you know what? I'm quite an open person, shall we say, as far as, I mean, obviously there's limitations and stuff. You've got to sort of, is this what someone really wants, or do you know what I mean? You've got to sort, but no, a lot of the body work, as far as the torsos and stuff, a lot of it is like to raise awareness. So breast cancer, you know, breast cancer. I mean, ladies come in. I had a lady a couple of weeks ago, and she was like, you know what? It must have been last year before lockdown. It's me husband's 40th birthday, and I don't know what to buy him. He's got absolutely everything. So could you cast me chest? I'm like, okay.
What about 40th?
Yeah. Happy birthday! Here's a stone version of me.
You know what? She said it was the best present he probably ever got. And not only that, you know, she was confident. She was such a confident girl. And for me to give someone that confidence into a piece of art, then why not? My job's done. So yeah, as I say, she come in, you know what? She just said, Ange, it was the best present. I have had some and it has been a bit where you're like, you know what, I'll pass it on. I've got a lot of
great place in Edinburgh that does casting.
I know, no, there is actually a guy in Blackpool who does body casting. And you know what? It's not, again, it's got to be for what reason, for the right reasons.
Of course.
And that's when, you know, I'll either do it or it's sort of passed on to, there's quite a bit of a connection with us now with the body casters. So from nothing come to, do you know what I mean? So it's like, you know what, I'm not going to do this, but will you? So we've always got someone to pass it on to.
Oh, that's so good.
Amazing. So Paul was saying that you're an amazing person, which you are, and you've done, and I think the casting thing, and you know, we'll put your Facebook details up so people can actually go on and have a little look at it. But you do loads and loads of work for charities, don't you, and supporting charities and things. And, so tell us a little bit about that.
So I work a lot with Zoe's Place. Oh, you know what, those staff and those children, and it's just such, it's run on, it's just run on donations. It's run on
love, isn't it? Because they don't get any funding from anybody, do they? It's run on love, isn't it?
So my agreement when I go into Zoe's Place or to Clare House and stuff, it's like, look, you know what, we will do a discount, so the donation can go to the charity. Again, I've met so many Clare House families, so many Zoe's families who are friends with me now. Mine's not a job where you can, like, at the end of it, you're like, right, okay, bye. Still message me now. Hi, Ange, you okay? Or just little updates on the kids, and you know what, we've loved some and we've lost some as well along the way, and it's just heartbreaking, but they're just little warriors. They really are.
Yeah, but it's amazing.
And if a family wanted to come along, so say like 4 people or something like that, and they wanted to do one with the hands or something like that, what are they looking at money wise? What do they cost?
So for children, for like children as in Zoe's place, or Claire House, or any additional needs, we've got a fund going at the moment, what we're fundraising for, and it's basically it's called A Gift from Beth. Now, Beth is a young lady who I done a cast for. She put some money into a fund, and we're hopefully going to build on this. So for families who come along, we normally say around, depending on how many, we start at like 295 and go up, or depending on what they want really. We can do single hands, but what I normally do is when a family comes for the family casting, say for 300, we generally sort of, with materials what are left over, we generally do like a child's hands just for the month, or for the family. But yeah, I'd say you're probably looking at around 295. That starts off as a family casting, and then we just.
And I suppose when you're doing the charitable things you do, it can bring comfort to the people, can't they? Because it's a positive memory they have.
Of course it is. Well, certainly with the lady I've just been speaking about, Alice. So Alice is Beth's mum.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Alice lost her husband and a daughter within days of each other.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Because I'd done their cast, and she actually, the benefits what it brought for her, she was like, I need to give another family this in Beth's name.
Oh, I love
my days.
So that's sort of the way. That's the way it's working at the moment. But we are going to be looking at fundraising. So if there's any businesses out there who wanna, maybe.
So it's like a pay it forward, isn't it? Like paying the comfort forward, isn't it? And knowing that this meant so much to me, and I'd like somebody else, which is just so like Beth's mum's like amazing, isn't she, to do that for somebody else, which is just and you do tend to find that the parents of children with additional needs or terminally ill or something are just on another level, aren't they? They just
I mean, they're doing it in memory of Beth, but he said, I know that when that family look at that casting, because bear in mind, these children have now, they've lost these children. When I know that when that mum is looking at that casting, that's in Beth's name. That's because of Beth. Why she's so it's just, it's
So I'd be no good, because I'd just be like crying all the time, because I'm like an emotional wreck, and I am like being a little bit like, you can see like I've got a bit of a watery eye at the moment when you're talking things like that. And I think what you do is so personal that you do get attached, isn't it? And what's your biggest sort of so Bernie's Deli's listening. So Bernie's Deli isn't listening, because Bernie owns Bernie's Deli. So Bernie's listening in, and she just says amazing, and Bernie does loads of charity work as well in a part of her cafes, and supports loads of charities and things, amazing, feeding people and stuff. What's your sort of biggest what sort of people come to you? Do you do more of the memorial stuff, or do you do more of just general everyday? Or
we've actually, I mean, I'd say the memorial side is, it's a big portion of the business.
Yeah.
But it's all families at the moment, certainly probably with lockdown and stuff. Because, for COVID, that's one of my captions. COVID tore your family apart and bringing it back together. And
brilliant.
After lockdown and stuff, we've sort of, people are starting to realise what they've actually lost. You know what I mean? What it's got till what you've got till it's gone. And the nans, they haven't been able to see the nan for years. Some people over a year. So a big portion is families coming in at the moment, but I wouldn't deny it. A lot of it is memorial and end of life. And I think
COVID's taught us as well the importance, you're saying like the importance of not seeing family. Quite a lot of families have been in the house together, haven't they, and sort of like reconnected.
Yeah,
so it's quite a nice little memory, isn't it? And on your so it's nice, isn't it? And I was having a look on your Facebook page and stuff like that, and you do the most beautiful. The one that made me howl was the casting thing. So there was like a home kit of casting, which was just horrendous, wasn't it? It looked like somebody had stepped into like wet plastic, you know what I mean? And they tried to do a casting, and they go, "Oh, it looks like this on the picture on the box," and I think, "God, it doesn't." But you do a beautiful, the little feet in the word love, as it's like an ornament. Well, what's all that about?
So, again, you know what? New babies, a new baby to the house. It's just so precious, isn't it? So we were like, okay. I'd seen quite other things, very similar. The love and with the hands, they were like prints now. And I was like, you know what? Let's put my own twist on this. So I was like, put a shout out on Facebook. I need a casting call. I need a newborn baby. Anyone want to come and help me? Yeah, I will. We've got a baby and, we done the feet and stuff. And I was like, just trust me, just leave it with me. It might work out, it might not. And we done it. And you know what? They're so popular now. They're absolutely gorgeous. And as people say, you know what? It's like you sort of stop the clock just for that second.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to get that minute what's just gone.
Yeah.
And that's the way I see it. I say let me stop the clock just for that second. Because time is just, time's just so precious.
Yeah, that's a lovely gift. I think, like, I was thinking, like, if somebody was a newborn baby gift, when I just think it's amazing. I think it's like such a gorgeous thing. So you were telling us about you've moved on to sport and casts now. So where did all that come from?
So again, I was sort of just, I'm quite dangerous when my mind sort of wanders off. So I'm sat there and I was like, I think I've been in the gym. My friend Paul, he is, he knows all the boxers and he knows a lot of sports people.
Yeah.
And we were having a chat and I was like, you know what? I thought I might, a boxing glove. I'd previously done a football boot, which is absolutely gorgeous. I was like, boxing. Anyway, we managed to get hold of Jazza Dickens, Tony Bellew, and I was like, poor Tony only walks in the gym, and I was like, just gives your hands a minute, put in this football. I think he actually realised what he come in for that day. And they are going to be, you know what, absolutely amazing. And the theory behind it was casting victories. So obviously, Tony's a champion. He was like, Angela, my fists are only small, But I said, they've won your titles. So we've got it in an absolutely gorgeous box with, a picture of Tony when he'd won his title with his fists.
Wow.
Same with Jack. With two fists, they're absolutely gorgeous, but they are probably going to be going out tomorrow. So you will see those in the next couple of days. And again, it's about casting victories. And that can sort of stand for any boxer, whether he's, a young boxer, an old boxer. It's just about victories.
So Des is listening in, and he said, is there a maximum number of people, or, for example, could you do a football team? I suppose it depends how big the cast is, does it?
Yeah, well, I say if it's going to be something that's hung on a wall, as in a sculpture, a sculpture of hands, I'd say around 8. Just because of the sheer weight.
Yeah.
But if it's going to be something separate, you can have as many as you want. If it's going to be something what will be like, sat on a table and not hung up, you can probably have as many as you want. But again, it just depends on like designs and stuff.
Because it's weight as well, I suppose.
Yeah.
So Bernie's listening in and she says, wow, I'm booked in. She's going to book in with you because she's got a new baba and it's a little boy, isn't it? And he's 10 weeks old. Wow. And she says it'll be fab to cast his prince. So that's amazing, isn't it? And it's lovely memories, isn't it, for everybody? So that's brilliant.
Yeah. We're quite creative when it's babies now because the way we've been doing it is like we'll cast, say, let's just say, the the baby comes in and we cast his hands, and then we get mum and dad back in like a couple of weeks later when the hands dry, and then we can recast, you know, like the mum and dad holding their hands or feet, or really, really, honestly, they're really gorgeous. It's just so creative, and that's just me. That's me.
So where do all the ideas? Sorry, go on, San.
Well, mine's a different question, Helen. I want to know when she's going to finish a psychology degree, because she's still got a year left and that's unfinished business. And I went to that uni and you'll ruin the stats. Come on.
I better get back to
You're down as an unfinished degree. Only a teacher would say that.
I better get part of me does sort of think, did I start that degree? Because it's took me on a journey.
Yeah.
Journey what I never expected. I just thought I was going to be.
What did you want to do when you started a degree? What was your sort of life plan, or did you not really have one? Did you just think I'll go and do this?
No, well, previous to the degree, I'd worked in children's homes. So it was, you know, with adolescents, and so it was something what I wanted to get into the
minds.
Why. You know, why things happen, you know, what obviously they were sort of part of because they were looking after children, they were part of from families, what effect did that have, so I could have a better understanding. And yeah, as I say, it didn't
and it took you on another path, and it's a lovely path, and you're waking up and you're going to work and you're loving it, and you're coming home and you're loving it, which is amazing, isn't it? You know,
definitely. So
amazing.
I go to work in the morning and I pinch myself and walk up Oak Street.
Yeah.
I'm situated the Everyman Theatre. I'm like next door.
Yeah.
And I walk to work and I'm like, wow, I just pinch myself. I'm normally just in my own little world. I'm like, wow, this is mine.
Which is lovely, isn't it?
It's just fabulous. It really is. And as we were talking before, you know, I always say there's people, you know, if you tell yourself you can't do something, you just won't. You've got I can do this and I will. And that's my
absolutely.
I've learned myself to do that every day because it's so frightening. Certainly going into lockdown and stuff, I was like, I'm not going to survive. But you know what?
And were you able during lockdown to work, or my dog's just gone a bit crazy? Sorry.
No. We obviously with the, you know, because it's such a personal, we couldn't.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the lockdown, I work closely with funeral directors and, you know, embalmers, people who are like up close and personal, and they were saying, you know, providing that it wasn't COVID, this was like the beginning. Providing it wasn't COVID, you know, and you fully.
You were allowed to go in.
I was allowed to, but things are starting to ease off a little bit, but just everyone's safe.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, that's the main priority of everybody, isn't it?
Well, now, isn't it? And as you say, it's a lovely thing for families to do. And I suppose if you had family who live in other parts of the country as well, and they came to visit, be a nice thing to do.
I've had people come to me as far as like Jersey, you know, they travel.
Wow.
Jersey. I had a couple in from Leeds a couple of days ago, but the other ones what are so lovely is families, you know, not all families live together, not all, you know, some families are all across the world, and I've had people like say maybe who have been over from Australia. So we've sort of casted those, and then like when such a one comes from like New York, you know, we actually also they are actually together. In the end, you wouldn't think that they were all different parts of the world. You'd think they were actually sat in my studio, and they're not. They're really not.
It's amazing, isn't it?
So it is
unbelievable.
Together, yeah.
What a genius idea, though. What a brilliant thing to do. Hey.
It's just about being so creative. Do you know what I mean? Anyone, I always say it. Anyone can cast. It's not hard to cast. It's what you do with the cast.
Oh, I'm sure I'd make a pig ear of that. I can
Well,
guarantee you.
yeah,
Not sure everyone. Maybe people with a bit of skill might be able to do it.
People do say that, Ange. It's easy for you to say it. You know what I mean? You cast daily on a daily basis. And the picture what I showed the other day, the poor woman, she was like, Angela, it was up the walls. The baby was screaming. I was screaming. It was a nightmare.
Imagine the potential mess could be. Yeah, don't try this at home, folks.
That's it.
Yes,
so I just say, if you want to give it a try, do it. I don't sell home kits. I don't sell them purely because I'd feel so responsible when it goes horribly wrong. I'd feel, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I'll be like, no, it's not right. Pass it to me.
Yeah, I don't advise people to translate their own documents neither.
With Google Translate, let's not do that.
How brilliant. What a skill.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I just love it. And we're going to have to come and see your studio because that'll be boss.
Yeah, can we visit, please?
Of course you can. I am there most
in the Baltic.
Oh, come down then. You're literally round the corner from me.
Yeah.
Come, until you.
So when are you open, Ange? When are you open?
So, Monday to Saturday. All to say to people is just always just give me a message first, just because I'm either there or I'm out casting. I am looking at growing very soon. But yeah, I'd hate to miss anyone.
Yeah.
Do
you know what I mean? So I just say, just drop me a message first so I can make sure I'm there for you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I'm gonna come and see you because I'd like to see them. I've shared your
I'd like
page.
to see it. Yeah.
I've shared your Facebook page link on our Success in the City page. So if anyone's interested, they can have a look on there as well. But what a lovely thing you do, and all the people you help at the same time. That's massively, it's ethical business, isn't it? Which I love. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Yeah, amazing.
No
amazing.
worries.
So you're going to stay here because the next part of our show is red face, where something's like a little bit embarrassing. What's happened, so people can laugh along with you and not at you. And I'm sure during casting there must be some embarrassing moments, mustn't there?
Oh, trust me. You know what? I have embarrassing moments probably on a daily basis.
Hurrah! She's in our gang.
It's not necessarily. I'd say I'm quite like thick-skinned. I'm probably like a bit of a bloke, really. I can sort of take the banter and the laughing. But what gets me more is we had a family in, and they had teenage lads, and so they comes in and they're like, "What are we doing?" And they really sort of. I was probably, I don't know. I think I was probably boring them after a bit. So I could see one of them spotted. On the floor, I've got like a lady's body cast. So they're all, bear in mind, they're all sat round a table. They're all like captured in this cast. You couldn't move. It was rock solid. And I could see the young lad got a glimpse of this like boobs. So, and I could see the parents were like older as well. So you could see, the lad couldn't take his eyes off these boobs. So he's like a luminous purple where he's embarrassed. And then he notices, and I notice what he's looking at. As I say, I was just, he couldn't wait to get out. God love him. He was just like, you know what, I'm done now. But he still didn't take his eyes off these boobs.
How long does the cast take to set?
So,
when you've got your hands in, how long are your hands in it for?
So the bucket casting's about 4 minutes. The flat castings, like the wreath type of castings. If you look on my page, you'll see what I mean.
Yeah,
they're like a circle of hands.
Yeah, they're amazing. Then
they're probably you're probably in there for about 20 minutes, half an hour. That's purely because you're creating a cast around that. So again, the poor kid was sat there for half an hour, just with his eyes fixated on this cast. A luminous red. Yeah. In the end, I was like, you know what? I'll let you go.
Oh, laugh! Oh my god! Well,
Yeah,
He's had the boss time for half an hour.
yeah, I know. Only his mum and dad. I think the thing was is because he was like opposite his mum and dad, and I could just say I thought this is a bit awkward.
oh. Well, I had a red face. It's not a patch on yours, though, if we've got time. I had a client who I've only taught a few times, and I was teaching someone yesterday, and she was a bit early. And I said, oh, I'm still teaching. Would you be able to wait outside on the sofa? And that, which she did. And then she had a lesson. And then she goes, Sandra, I haven't got my car keys. So we're looking everywhere. And the office is all tidy. And I was like, well, they're not here. And so we had a look. I checked I hadn't taken them by accident, which is a terrible habit of mine. And she said, I must have left them on the sofa. So we spoke to the cleaners, we spoke to the car hire people. And they said, oh, a man came in and said he found these keys, but he didn't want to leave them with us. He put them somewhere and we didn't know where they were. Oh, it was horrendous. So I had to drive the lady home last night. And then today, it wasn't funny, Helen. And then today, someone had to handed them into Enterprise, and then Enterprise handed them to our fab mate Brian Quinn, who came to me, and then I had to go up again, and she lived up by Calderstones, which is a completely different area, and I had to drop them off tonight. Oh, meanwhile, Maze had to let herself in the house yesterday, and then drove to town to pick up the car. So it was the palaver, and I thought, why didn't you just say, if you've lost your keys, call this number, and put a sign up, and I could have rang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He thought he was being helpful, but it wasn't helpful at all.
No, it wasn't helpful at all.
Palaver.
Pretty hilarious, though. Pretty hilarious, but yeah.
It happened to me.
So I think I had a slight red face when I asked our two young people who are working with us to go and do something for me. I'm not going to say it on the radio, but I set them up to go and do something.
Terrible.
And somebody said, oh, you can't do it. Anyway, they come. So in my head, it was nothing. And in other people's, it was. And they come running back and they thought they were going to be arrested. But I assured them that they wouldn't be arrested. But yeah, so apologies to our young people who've just started work with us. I promise I'm not going to get you arrested. Because it wasn't bad in my head. I just, yeah.
No, it was done in innocence, but it could
be. It was done in innocence, but it could have been read wrong by so many people. Yeah. But yeah, so it's glad that I didn't actually go and do it myself, because I'd have just gone and done it. So yeah, so shout out to the grown-ups. Which grown-ups have done amazing things this week? Sandra, what grown-ups have done amazing things?
Brian Quinn, because Brian Quinn has just like gone on this amazing thing. So he's got his, he got outstanding he got the go ahead for his nursery to open and everything. And he's involved in another project now, which he announced today. And I'm just dead proud of him. I just feel lucky to know him, because he's such a person of integrity. And, I'm just very, very, very excited for him with all of that. So the thing he told us last week, he announced today. So I'm made up for him.
Wow.
What about—
he's an amazing human being, isn't he? And he's been one of our guests, and he's just a high caliber of person. He's just cool as so any grown-ups, Ange, who you want to give a shout out to?
Again, I'm referring back to Zoe's place. The staff there are absolutely amazing. They just go above and beyond. Claire House, the staff, they're just a different breed of people. They're just so absolutely amazing. Also,
and I think we should give your hubby a shout out for letting you go up to Edinburgh to go do your casting, and the fella who broke his leg.
Of course, I know, the guy who broke his leg, who gave me the chance. And Darren, I still hold him to that. Like, what does psychology got to do with making pots? But thanks for letting me go, Daz.
Have you got a shout out for anyone this week, Helen? Any grown-ups?
I want to give a shout out to our young people. So I keep on calling them young people or little people or something like that, because they're all like much younger than us. But they are all like young adults. We should really call them young adults. And they've all started in our office. And last week we just had an amazing week with them. They were just they were just so inspirational and stuff. And I did a little activity with them, and they were coming out with things that you wouldn't even think of, you know. And on Friday, I was like, you know, what's been some positives of the week, and what have we done amazing last week, and you know, what are we going to do next week and stuff. And the things that they were coming out with was just, you know, one of them, he's back into a routine because he's getting up and stuff, and he hasn't been in a routine. And they were talking about like building new relationships with people, and you know. And everybody's just integrated, and we are just like a little work family. And you know, they've all been like walking to the shop to go and get dinner together, and walking to, you know, and like going when they leave, and they're all waiting for each other to go, because they all tend to walk through to the bus station and you know, through town together and stuff. And these are 4 young people who never met, and have all got, you know, different stories. And I've just come together, and so I just want to give them a massive, massive shout out, and I think we're dead lucky to have them. So yeah, so well done to them all, and thanks for being so amazing in your first couple of weeks. So we were talking about a positive challenge. We've gone over quickly, so we're going to quickly do a positive challenge. So Ange, what was the positive challenge that you're going to give to everybody?
I think mine is just a case of, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself you can do it, and you will do it, and you're going to do it, and nothing's going to stop you. And I just think that little affirmation of a morning can get you through massive hurdles in a day.
Brilliant.
And we're going to use that as our closing quote as well, because that's been amazing. So I'm going to say a massive, massive thank you to Sandra. Ange, a massive, massive thank you for coming and giving your time to us today. You've been amazing.
Yeah.
And we're definitely going to come and have a look at your studio, and come and see where all the magic happens. Definitely. So we're going to love you and leave you, and we will see everybody next week. So thank you so much. And next week we've got John Gibbo from the Anfield Wrap. Yeah, so we're dead excited to see him. So thanks, Ange, and thanks, San, and we'll see you next week.
So much. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Oh, she's gone.